Hey everybody, welcome back to an extra special episode of the Financial Wellness Podcast. I'm Ashlee. I've got Austin.
How's it going?
And our special host and guest, Madison, from the Auburn Duesenberg Automobile Museum. So thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So we were thinking about our partners and who we'd like to highlight, and the museum came to light because they're such great partners for us. So as an example, if you are a member of the Auburn Duesenberg Museum, then you can qualify to bank at Three Rivers. So we work pretty closely together, and we're doing some fun stuff coming up soon. So we wanted to highlight and help everybody learn about the museum, and then we want to talk a little bit about money and cars and what it was like to buy a Duesenberg versus today. So hopefully it'll be a little interesting, a little bit of financial wellness today. Madison, to start us off, why don't you share just a little bit about the museum, what you guys do here, and maybe what's exciting to you?
Yeah. So my position here at the museum is Collections and Education Manager. I think I kind of have the best of both worlds with this job because I get to manage our world-class collection of automobiles. We have about 150 automobiles in our collection. I also help manage our archives and artifacts collection. And then I get to go even a step farther and kind of talk about how I can tell the stories of those objects through interpretive tours or exhibits or field trips, because I also do the education department here. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of fun.
It's like a jack of all trades, really.
Yes, yes, it is.
We were talking a couple weeks ago, like for prep for this, and Madison was sharing, like she has some cool stuff specifically for women and every category that you can think of. So when you come visit the museum, she's the gal to ask. She knows it all.
Yes. I have a lot of fun giving tours to all different kinds of people. That's kind of our mission here, is we try to speak to a multi-generational audience. Mm-hmm. And so how do you interpret these cars from the 1930s for like a fifth grader versus like somebody who's in their 70s? It's really exciting.
What do the fifth graders want to know?
Well, I usually try to get them centered in cars. So I ask, well, what's the first thing you do when you get in your car? And they will say, well, honk the horn or you drive the car. And somebody will eventually say, we buckle up. I'm like, none of these cars had seatbelts. And they go, what?
Yeah, it's kind of a foreign concept these days.
Right.
You just know.
And even you don't even have to go back this far, really. I mean, my dad tells me, we don't have to wear seatbelts. Like, it's just a different world.
I mean, I'm a product of sitting in the back of a truck, like going to my grandparents' farm, Times have changed.
Right.
So what would you say is like one of the fun highlights that a lot of people make sure they come to the museum to see?
Definitely our Art Deco showroom here, and maybe you can see that in this video. It's one of the things that makes this building a National Historic Landmark. So you walk in and it's the grand Art Deco showroom with the terrazzo floors and the chandeliers and the decorative ceiling tiles here. It just blows you away. Mm-hmm. Remember when I interviewed for this job, I was like, okay, I want to work here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so beautiful. And like, it really does take you back in time.
It does.
Like, that's part of why I love to come here. It's like just something that you wouldn't even believe still exists.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Well, awesome. Well, our plan today was to kind of talk a little bit about the cost of these vehicles and what that looks like. So you were telling us a little bit before, but tell us, like, what is the cost of one of these vehicles back when individuals purchase these? Yeah,
so one of the more famous things that we are known for is Duesenbergs. You might have heard of It's a Doozy. That comes from Duesenbergs. And those cars were really owned by the 0.1 percenters of society. So they were very expensive luxury cars. At the time, there was an oversaturation in the automobile market. So companies were saying, well, how do we become unique? And one of the ways the Auburn Automobile Company decided to do that was to become a luxury car brand. And so with Duesenbergs, when you bought one, it was probably about $15,000 back in 1930. Which inflation costs today, that's about $275,000.
That's unreal.
It's a lot of money for me, at least. We were talking like that would be maybe an Aston Martin as an example of in today's cars. So something that not very many people ride in, let alone purchase. So that's kind of what we're surrounded by today. So it's so cool to be able to just even look at them.
And what you were sharing last time we were here was you had said that they just bought the base of the car, right, and then had to go somewhere else to actually get the top made for it.
Yes.
So was that price just for like, that was just to get the vehicle?
Yes, it was probably just to buy the chassis, and then you would take the chassis, like the base of the car,
Right.
and then you'd take that to a coach builder and have them customize it to you. So then the price
That was
just
probably
goes
another
up and up.
few $1,000s
Yes.
to do that as well.
Especially if you wanted like neat accessories or it fitted to your height.
So Madison, when people were buying these cars, because they were luxury and it was the 0.1% purchasing them, they were probably purchasing cash, right?
Yeah, so car loans at the time, banks, they didn't quite start doing that until later on. They started it in the 20s and 30s. A lot of people who bought these cars, we know from letters and conversations, that they saved up their money to buy the car in full.
Okay. Excellent. That's one of the things that the customization was so interesting to me. So if you come to the museum, different cars have different, like there was one I'm like, I can't even get my legs in there. That would be way too short. And Madison was like, oh, well, that's because it was customized to somebody who wasn't very tall. So it's not like today where adjustable seats where like kind of anybody can buy
Memory
a car.
seats,
Yeah.
and heated seats.
Yeah.
But then that was something else that you were sharing too, is that, you know, these were kind of considered luxury, and that they did kind of have some of those new, obviously not the features that we have today in our
Yeah.
vehicles, but that was kind of their move in the market, was to create some features that other places didn't have.
Yeah, they started doing more luxury interiors. They came out with the radio around this time so you could listen to music. Still, when we're driving them down the road, the rear view mirrors in these cars are like this big.
Yeah.
So you really have to try to like make sure you're looking behind you. And turn signals didn't exist either, so very different.
Did everyone just use the hand signal?
Yes.
Is that how you did it?
Yeah.
I still occasionally see someone doing that. I'm like, wait, which signal is that one?
Yeah, right. Or like people on their bikes sometimes. do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So we looked up the average loan for 2025 for a car is about $42,000. So it kind of gives you an idea of the average car today is still like, what is that? 20% of what the cost of one of these luxury vehicles would have been at the time. And so it's interesting to me that basically now most people do a car loan. They don't save up
Right.
to purchase a car. Especially a brand new one. And so interesting that that's kind of flip-flopped from the 30s when the Auburns, Cords, and Duesenbergs would have been popular. So the other thing is, I was curious, and a big thing now is leasing cars. Would any cars have, like luxury cars, been leased at the time, like in the 30s at all?
Maybe not the luxury ones, but
Okay.
other cars probably would have, yes.
Okay. Yeah. The other fun fact from today is a new car, the average loan payment is about $745 per month
For new.
for new, and then used is like $571.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, and then lease is about $595. So they're all kind of in that ballpark, but over $500 for a month for a car. And so it's been interesting to see how we can help people at Three Rivers with car loans. That's probably one of the phone calls that we get the most often.
Yeah.
And of course, we love to help folks, but part of our brand and what we try to do every day is to help people with their financial wellness. So we're always looking at how do we help people make a savings account so that you can save up to purchase that car so that you aren't paying us interest, or how do you make sure that you have a good down payment? Which leads me to my next question, Madison. When somebody would have ordered a car, was there a down payment process, or?
Yes, there would have been a down payment, kind of an initial upfront cost for them to start producing the vehicle.
Okay.
In our archives, we do have checks made out for our down payment, people being very excited about buying their cars.
That's awesome.
So you would essentially make a down payment, then they would start actually producing your car. How long would that take from the time you ordered it to the time you got it?
It varied, I'd say anywhere between 6 months to a year at the
Okay.
time. And actually, for the funny story with Cord 810s and 12s, production was taking so long and customers were getting so anxious about getting their cars. They produced these little brass cords, and put them on marble stands and sent them out to their customers like, hey, we're making the car. In the meantime,
Enjoy it.
here's
No way.
something. Yes.
Okay, that's kind of.
Do you have some of those here at the
We
museum?
do, yes, in our collection.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
a cool little artifact.
Yeah,
to
it
have.
is.
Yeah.
And I can see that, because now today, and I remember when we were doing a lot of loans during like COVID time, a lot of people who were ordering new vehicles, there was a delay because I think it was the chips that were so backed up. We all remember when chips was the problem. And so I remember some people were ordering vehicles and it was 6 to 12 months, but now it feels like you can order, we've heard people order vehicles and they have them there real quick, depending on how much you're customizing. And
Yeah. Every year the museum does a raffle of a new Corvette, and this year it's taking extremely long time. We ordered it probably the beginning of the year, and they were like, hey, we're not going to get it done in the year, so you're going to get a 2026, not a 2025.
Oh, wow.
No
So
way.
they still have these production issues here and there.
Interesting. Well, and I've heard it specifically about the Corvette. Isn't it like a whole new thing they're doing this year with
Yes.
the Corvette? I've heard they're supposed to be really incredible, but
Yes.
yeah, we'll see how that happens. But
I mean, that's exciting for the raffle. Somebody's getting a new
Yeah,
car that
yeah.
they got.
Exactly. And they were like, if it's not done by the time it's raffled off, you get to pick the color. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of neat.
That's kind of even better, I think.
Yeah.
That's cool. So we've talked about kind of how much these cars cost in the 30s. There's the Auburn Duesenberg Festival that always happens in Auburn, Indiana, in Labor Day weekend. I know the museum is a big piece of that. But one of the things that happens is a giant car auction. And there are auctions all over the world. I always hear about Brandon, the executive director, is all over all the time, escorting cars to different shows and auctions and all kinds of things. But we have learned and researched, I guess, that some of the Duesenbergs will actually auction for like up to $3 million now. So we are amongst like some crazy expensive cars, and we so encourage you to come visit. The museum is beautiful. The folks here are so kind and helpful, and they share all kinds of cool stuff that you probably don't even know happens or exists.
Another thing we do here at the museum is we offer educational experiences to local schools. And so we do STEM labs where they get to learn about kinetic energy and potential energy with cars. Learning about Indiana's automobile history is actually on the state curriculum standards for fourth graders. So what's better than having all the fourth graders come here to learn about that as part of their curriculum? And we do a really special program where we offer those experiences at no cost to schools. And we offset that cost by having partnerships with you guys like Three Rivers Credit Union.
Awesome. We're happy to do it. I love that we can help connect kids with, really, it's money and cars. Like, it all connects together.
Yeah.
And so I think it's so awesome that you carry that torch for such a long time. And making sure that kids are learning in fun, cool ways.
Yes.
Yeah. So Madison, tell us what's the one thing that you want to leave with the audience today?
I like to tell people we're not just a car museum. We talk about so much more than cars. I mean, they were feats of engineering. They were very innovative for the time. The Auburn Automobile Company actually produced the first front-wheel drive car in America. So it's kind of, for a small Midwestern town in Northeast Indiana, that's really cool.
Yeah.
They were one of the top 5 exporters of cars at the time, so they had dealerships in 93 different countries. So I tell people it's an American story, but it's kind of radiated out all over the world. So we're not just a car museum. There's so much to see. There's engineering, innovation, art. We call them rolling sculptures.
Oh, yeah. That's
So there's a little bit for everybody, not just car buffs.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for hosting us and being part of our podcast.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to learn and to be a part. We're so excited to be here.
Thanks,
Yeah.
yes.
And thanks for showing me around. This was actually a couple weeks ago when we came. Was my first time here, and I got the grand tour. And it's a very beautiful place, and it was exciting to be here.
Yeah, thanks. Do you have a favorite car so far?
There was one over there that I liked. It was the one with the lights that flipped up and
yes.
down. That was cool.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to the Three Rivers Financial Wellness Podcast. While we're excited that you join us on this journey of financial wellness, we do need to give you a short disclaimer. This podcast is for informational purposes only and isn't intended as financial, tax, or investment advice. Be sure to consult your own experts before making financial decisions. Three Rivers is federally insured by the NCUA and is an equal housing lender.